Okay, so again, back to the SAT type questions dealing with quadratics, and I want you to look at question number 34. Where it says originally a rectangle was twice as long as it is wide. When the 5 meters was subtracted from the length and 3 meters subtracted from the width, the resulting rectangle had an area of 55 square meters. Find the dimensions of the new rectangle. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. So, all right, the first thing I would want you to do is I'd want you to draw a rectangle. Right? And your rectangle it says twice as long as it is wide. So this is the length and this is the width. Does everybody agree with that? So the length is what? You could say 2W, I would say. That was pretty good. The length is twice the width. All right. Now it says you're going to create a new rectangle. And I think it's just going to be smaller. All right. When 5 meters was subtracted from the length, so what is the new length going to be?
2W minus 5.
I agree. 2W minus 5. And then 3 meters is subtracted from the width. So what does that mean? Yeah, like I said, guys, it's easy. W minus 3. The resulting rectangle had an area of 55 square meters. All right, so how do I represent that now? Tell me.
L times W equals 54. I
Hmm.
mean 55.
Somebody else, tell me a better equation. Although there's nothing wrong with that.
2W minus 5 times W minus 3 equals 55.
You're awesome. 2W minus 5 times W minus 3 equals 55. Everybody agree with that? All right, now this is called a quadratic. The reason why I know it's quadratic is because we're going to multiply, and when you multiply, you end up with the W squared. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so now we're going to try to practice multiplying this in your head. All right, you should be able, at this stage of the game, we've done it so much, you should be able to tell me what the middle term is. All right, right off the bat, 2W times W is what again? 2W squared. Now to find the middle term, remember using your smiley face.
Negative 11.
Negative 5W and, which makes? Yeah, you should be able to do that. Negative 11W. Then when you multiply, you end up with plus 15 equals 55. Everybody okay with this? Now it's quadratic, so to solve quadratics have to be set equal to 0. So if I throw the 55 over, it becomes negative what?
44.
Yeah, so 2W squared minus 11W minus 40 equals 0. That wasn't that hard. So from there, what do I need to do? All right, so we're factoring. What is it? Go ahead.
It would be 2W and then W,
Perfect.
and then it would be
Bless you.
9 and 5.
What would it be?
Sorry, 8 and 5.
Yes. Where does the 8 have to go?
On the right.
Yes. Very good. And 5 on the left. All right, now again, we're just visualizing 16 and 5. Make negative 11 if what?
5 is negative.
Yes. And the,
5.
there you go. All right, so now when you solve that, now you should be, at this stage of the game, just be able to tell me that W is equal to what? Negative 5 halves, or W is equal to what? Positive 8. W is equal to positive 8. All right. Now, again, I'm not sure what the answer is, so we have to go back and read the question. The question says, Find the dimensions of the new rectangle. This right here are the dimensions of the new rectangle. Is it possible for W to be negative? No, so this is out. It's called an extraneous solution. What?
I forgot. Why? How did you get W?
Because remember, we solved that equation. 2W plus 5 equals 0. Do you know this?
Oh, yeah. So,
Right? So the dimensions, remember, the answer is W equals 8. So what are the dimensions?
so it would be 11
11 meters by
by
5 meters.
5. And why couldn't it be a negative then? Or why
So draw a rectangle with a negative width. Right? Yes, sir.
How did you get to 11 by 5?
What does W equal?
8.
So what is 2 times 8 minus 5?
Oh,
You with me? And 8 minus 3. All right. All right, so they're kind of similar. Okay, so let's go down. 33. All right, let's talk about 33. It says find the dimensions of a rectangle whose perimeter is 40. All right, so again, if we just drew a rectangle and we said the perimeter is 40, what does that mean? Somebody tell me what the perimeter being 40 means.
Yeah, I don't know.
What does it mean?
All the sides add up.
Yes, all the sides add up to 40, but right now I want you to say it a little better. Say it.
2L plus 2W equals 40.
Yes, but now that is true, and I'm not going to disagree, but here's how I want you guys from now on. The perimeter is twice the length plus the width. All right? I think that's a better way of saying the perimeter of a rectangle. Does everybody agree with that? Length plus width times 2. It's the same as 2L plus 2W. What is the perimeter?
40.
So 40 is equal to 2L plus W. So can somebody tell me what L plus W has to equal?
96. 96.
Length plus the width has to equal 20. What does the area have to equal?
96.
Yeah, area has to equal 96. So what formula is area? L times W. So now 96 is equal to L times W. Now here's how an average kid would figure this out. Two numbers add together to make 20 and multiply together to get 96. So obviously the numbers are what? Brilliant.
Like 14 and 6, something like that.
14 and 6, because 14 times 6 is 96, right? Come on, guys, seriously, man. This is not that hard to figure out. Not even close.
10.
It's not 10.
You're supposed to tell me what two numbers add together to make 20 and multiply together to make 96.
Oh, 14. No, not 10.
What?
12 and 8.
12 and 8. You're just supposed to be scrolling through the numbers in your head. 10 and 10 is 100. That's close, so it had to be close. 11 and 9. 12 and 8. That's all you're doing. All right? That's how you get half credit on the test. It's just by guessing and checking. All right? Full credit means you're going to have to show me mathematically how you know you're correct. All right? So to do that, what does L equal? If L plus W is 20, somebody tell me what L equals. Tell me.
It equals 12.
What is it?
It's 12.
No. No, that's not what I mean. We're not just guessing and checking. Somebody tell me what the length is. If L plus W is 20, what is L?
20 minus W.
Thank you. L is 20 minus W. L is 20 minus W. All right, is everybody okay with that? Now, notice over here, I have the relationship between length and width. I can take this 20 minus W and I can put it in for what? L, because they are equal. So now you say 96 is equal to 20 minus W times W. Now, 96 is equal to 20W minus W squared. Does everybody agree we want the square term to be positive, right? So I'm going to throw it over to the left, right? So that would be W squared minus 20W plus 96 equals 0. Everybody okay with that? Now we're going to factor that. What do we get? W and W, 8 and 12, negative 8 and negative 12. So the width could be what? 8 or 12. All right. Now, does it really matter if you choose 8 or 12? No, because the other length will be what? Yeah, will be the other choice. So then here the length would be what? 12, but over here the length would be what? The length would be 8. And again, we are measuring in meters. Yeah, that wasn't that hard. All right, setting it up is the hard part. Once you set it up, you're trying to create a quadratic. Then you set your quadratic equal to 0. Then you refactor. All right, so here we go. Let's see what you can do. All right, I want everybody to try to write the equations for number 32. Give you 30 seconds. Try to write the equations for number 32. All right, what's the first equation? Bo,
X plus Y equals 12.
simple as that. X plus Y equals 12. Next equation. Tell me, Sam. X squared plus Y squared equals 74. Does everybody agree with that? Now, what does Y equal?
12
Minus X.
So what do you think I do with 12 minus X? Yeah, put it in the equation over here. So now, X squared plus parentheses 12 minus X squared equals 74. All right, so X squared plus, if I square that, it's going to become 144. Then what?
X squared.
No,
Plus X squared.
no. What is it?
Minus X squared.
No, what are you talking about?
Minus X.
Minus 24x plus x squared equals 74. The middle term, guys. You're squaring a binomial. You're squaring the binomial. Now let me say it one more time. Everybody's got to pay attention. To find the middle term, the easiest thing to do is to multiply 12 times negative x. What do you get? Then multiply that by 2. Negative 24. That's how you get the middle term when you square a binomial. All right, just multiply the 2 inside, then times 2. Now is this quadratic? So it's got to be set equal to 0. Wait a minute. How many?
Minus 7.
Wait a minute. How many? How many x squared?
X to the fourth.
Wait a minute. Come on, guys. X squared plus x squared has nothing to do with x to the 4th. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. Good. 2x squared minus 24x. Now I have to move the 74 over, right? which means it's
Plus 30.
plus 70 equals 0. Now, does anybody see something? What else can I do now before I factor? Say it. Yes, divide by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2. So now I have x squared minus 12x plus 35 equals 0. So now what? Say it again. I'm factoring, so what would it be?
So x
Minus
minus
and
oh my god.
x minus 5. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
So x could either be what? Bless you. 7 or x could be 5. So if x is 7, y would be what? 5. And if x is 5, then y would be what? So is it the same answer pretty much? Yeah, so the two numbers are what? The two numbers are just 7 and 5. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me look at the next one. I want you to try 31 for homework. I want you to try 30. Well, yeah, I want you to try 30, but how do you write consecutive odds? Give me an example of consecutive odds. Tell me. Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So how do I get from 1 to 3?
You skip it.
You add what? You add 2. Right? If we're talking about consecutive odds, it would be x and x plus 2, right? So if I wanted to find two consecutive odd integers whose product is 143, I mean, most of you can look at that and tell me what the answer is. What is the answer? 11 and 13. It could also be what? Negative 11 and negative 13, right? But of course, that's not what I want. I want you to be able to tell me that x times x plus 2 has to equal 143. All right, that's what I want you to be able to tell me. All right, so I want you to try 30 and I want you to try 31 tonight. All right, then what I want to do is I'm just going to refocus with you a few minutes and come back up to the top where we were left off. And we're going to try a couple of these. All right, I'm going to pause the video right now and I want everybody in here to try 13, 14, and 15 and see how you do. Everybody do 13, 14, and 15. Give you like 3 minutes. Now, it says, here again, can you guys, I was a little upset. So, what's the answer here, guys? Tell me.
B.
I got a C.
B.
B, good.
B.
What did you say?
B.
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 Anybody think it's E? No chance for E, right? And no chance for D. Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
Now, how do I know that? Because now, again, I'm just trying to show you how to take standardized tests now. So everybody look. 5x plus 4 times something has to equal 45x squared. Does everybody agree with that? So the only thing this can be is what? 9x. Does everybody agree with that? So right off the bat, I know it's not D or E. Now, I'm trying to make negative 8. So it has to be what? Has to be negative 2. I'm not even asking you to factor. Has to be B. Does everybody see how I'm doing that? You don't have to factor that. All right? Yes, sir, what? Well, I'm not there yet. All right? What?
So, I'm a little bit confused.
With what?
So, 5x. Oh, I see. I read the question wrong. I
Okay.
thought it was like.
You're good now, right? Okay, so now let's look at 14. So there are two ways on a standardized test here. Right? For me personally, these are small numbers. So if I wanted to, I could just do what? Plug the numbers in to see which one works. Does everybody agree? And if I try to plug in 8, see what I mean? 8 times 8 plus 2, does that equal 8? So that's not an answer. 4 times 4 plus 2, does that equal 8? No. 2 times 2 plus 2. Does that equal 8?
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait. Oh yeah.
right? Everybody okay with that? That's how I know the answer was C and I didn't even do much work. All right, that's how quick it can be done. All right, now, of course, because we're in the unit where we're solving quadratics, it would just be x squared plus 2x equals 8, x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0, and then you're factoring x plus 4, x minus 2, so x equals negative 4, or, wait a minute, yeah, or positive 2. Does everybody agree with that? All right, negative 4 or 2. Easy, easy, easy. All right, now the last one we want to talk about real quick is which of the following could be the value of p? So if I factor 4x squared minus 9, you should be able to tell me what does that factor to, guys? Yeah, 2x minus 3 and what?
2x plus
And 2x plus 3. Is everybody with me? Right, so p has to be what? Yeah, 2. A. Does anybody have any issues with that? All right, does anybody have any issues? What time is the bell ring for us now? Like 17, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we got time.
Why does it have to be?
Well, because they're asking for what's P. What is P? You with me? P is the number in front of X.
Okay.
The number in front of X. You with me now, right? Okay, so here we go, guys. Here's what I really kind of want you to work on your own a little bit. All right, so for tonight, here's the problems. I want you to highlight 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then I want you to try those 2-word problems, 30 and 31. All right, and then tomorrow I'll review that with you, and then I'll finish the rest of them up. All right, now the other thing is, guys, listen to me real quick too, because I was going to have a test on Monday, but I'm thinking I have another really good SAT style questions and more word problems. So I might just hold off and we might have our test on Wednesday. All right, that way we don't have to come back after the break. All right, but again, I need you working on these. Very important. Get to work.